We are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy.
Dummy. Conspiracy dummy.
Where'd you get those creepers? Creepers, creepers. Where'd you get those eyes?
Hey, welcome to Conspiracy Dummy, the conspiracy podcast that's causing all the mass hysteria in your area. I am your host, Double D. Joining me on the podcast, oh my God, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's our guest flying in on his own Mothman. Backed by popular demand, we have the young Christian warrior and a dinosaur aficionado, Dino Rider. What's good, homie?
Well, just chilling. Another one for the books people, Dino Rider. We're doing the Mothman. And yeah, you know, it's something that Danny wanted me to participate. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to learn a lot about this folklore. Pretty fun.
Yeah, man. So let's talk about this fucking thing, bro. What is, or who is the Mothman?
Class is in session, folks.
Yep.
Much is another one for the books. This was gonna be a quickie, as you might want to say in other words.
Yeah, man, we're bringing in the Halloween spirit, man. We're bringing it in with this.
Never heard of this one, so
for real,
it might be brief.
Shit, man. Well, you're gonna learn something today, bro. For real,
you're here to enlighten me about these cryptids, because cryptids,
cryptozoology. Yeah,
what does that mean? A cryptid? What exactly?
Just like an unknown creature that's not been like discovered, or like it doesn't really have any validation in the existence of it. You know, people talk about it like it's like a myth or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh, I thought it was like a cryptid. You know, like Tales from the Crypt, like a mummy, a ghost, or something like a zombie. That's what I always picture.
Probably something. Maybe it falls in that category too.
Well, isn't it the Halloween thing?
Yeah, man. We're all talking about that shit, man. Jeepers Creepers. That's what we're gonna be doing, man.
That's what you like.
Yeah.
Personally, me, Halloween, but whatever. I'm a Christian. I don't believe in that crap. But anyway.
Yeah. But then, man, we're gonna have a little fun, man. We're gonna be talking about the Mothman, man, aka the Wingman, aka the Birdman, aka Batman. Got its name for Batman. We'll talk about that in a bit. Also, they call it the UFO bird and the Mason bird monster. And also, like, other places try to claim it for themselves, like Chicago. And
so what exactly enlightened me? Because this is new, like I'm saying. I did a little bit of research, Danny, but this is your field.
Yeah.
Where did this happen? Like, where exactly this legend start?
Well, this whole thing, the origin of the Mothman started on November 12th, 1966. A group of grave diggers, like 5 of them, doing what grave diggers do, you know what I mean? Just out in the cemetery, witness the Mothman, the awesomeness of the Mothman flying above their heads, bro. And then they gave it a description, bro. They said that how they described it was like a brown human being, bro. Shout out. You know what I mean?
But you know what else I was reading? I think that might have been a different sighting, but correct me.
No, it happened in Clendon, West Virginia. You know what I mean? Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. You know what I'm talking about?
West Virginia folklore, right?
Yeah, it's a West Virginian folklore. But the thing started to happen again 3 days later. A couple, like these couples, right? They were driving in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, right? And they saw like a flying humanoid, you know what I mean? Like a gray flying humanoid. How they described it, bro? Like it was like 10, like it was like huge, man, like 10 feet, had like the wingspan of 10 feet, and it had red glowing eyes, bro. You know what I mean? Like it just can pierce you with its eyes. And it chased them, bro. It chased their car. You know what I mean? They were trying to get away with it. They were going like 75 miles per hour, and they were getting chased right outside this little town, Point Pleasant, this area called TNT area. We'll talk about that area more later. But that was the second sighting of the Mothman, which happened 3 days later from the original.
Okay, so Well, I did my research, right, and which is as you know, with anything that has to do with mystery, once you read, you get hooked, right?
Yep, yep.
So I started reading, and everything that you have just mentioned is correct.
Yeah.
The first report was published in the Point Pleasant Register. I guess that's the
next day.
the newspapers,
Yeah,
right?
they called it, the title was couples see man-sized bird creature something.
So it's funny once you read these accounts, right? So does it mean that these couples were trying to get into you know what I'm saying, steam up the window Morris type?
Oh, I don't know, man.
Because it says couples.
It says couples, so there's like two like double dating and shit.
Yeah, but you know, like in that time, the 40s and the 50s,
Yeah.
it was common on these big ass Cadillacs.
To have orgies and shit, or what?
Well, you beat me to it. Damn, can I say?
Was it comment?
It
Damn.
was like steam up the windows. You never heard of
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
That's why cars back in the day had the bench seats in the back.
Oh shit, bro.
Because in the 50s, they were getting it in the back of the effing cars.
The good old days.
So it's like funny that you see all these couples, you know, I guess they congregated, I guess in, like a parking lot maybe or something?
It was like a back road or some like area. I don't know why they were driving down that dirt road, or it's like a highway or something, you know what I mean?
A highway.
But it's like near.
But wouldn't you think if it was a highway, the lights and people would be more
Well, they said
able to see it? I think it was one of them back roads. You're probably right.
probably, yeah, man. And they said they saw, like when they turned the headlights on, they saw the figure, and then it just went straight up in the air. Like people who saw this thing, who claimed to see this thing, said that it doesn't just like flap its wings and fly away. Like it just kind of like elevates itself straight up in the air. You know what I mean? It makes it seem like it's like some kind of drone or something crazy, robotics, you know?
So yeah, after I did the research, started reading, it says the national press soon picked up on the reports as they started after that.
Yeah,
you know, they started, you know, helping spread the story across the U.S.
Yeah, and it lasted for like a whole year. And I'll tell you when when it stopped. But like the couple see they said a man-sized bird creature. Like what? Like let's talk about this. Let's break it down. What do you think this thing is? By like the description, by things you just know throughout history, things that you have read probably. What could this be? I have a list of things, like there are flying things throughout history, bro.
I mean, if you want my honest opinion, you know me, like I believe until I see it. I'm a you know, that type of person.
Yeah.
Like if you tell me, oh, like a ghost, whatever, let me see it.
Yeah,
You know, I don't believe in that crap. You know that, right?
Ooh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
But
But in the way, my opinion is right. You know what I think it is? Like the reports after the first reports.
Yeah.
There was a wildlife biologist by the name of Robert L. Smith at the West Virginia University told reporters that descriptions and sightings all fit the sand hill crane. Have you ever heard of such a bird?
Yeah, it's not that big though. It's a big bird. It's white and it has like red around its eyes.
Obviously, you haven't done your research on my
Dude,
friend.
I have seen that bird.
No, because it says a large American crane almost as tall as a man with 7-foot wingspan featuring circles of reddish coloring around the eyes. So me personally, what you just asked me, what do I think it is?
A bird.
I'll go with the facts.
Yeah.
It was, you know what it was? You know how these birds migrate, right?
Yeah.
So it got lost. And these people that were probably trying to get their freak on behind that Buick or Cadillac back in the days.
Yeah.
They saw it. It was disoriented and saw this huge ass bird walking around with red eyes. They probably flashed it with the car.
Chasing it, though? It was chasing them. That's the thing. It was like
those fuckers don't give a damn. Have you seen them? They chase you, bro. Have you ever seen a goose?
Yeah.
How they chase you? They don't give a fuck about how big you are.
Damn, I don't know. Okay, well, I'm going.
Have you ever seen a shoe bill? You seen that scary?
Yeah, bro.
Where that motherfucker comes talking about ta 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 ta.
That motherfucker looks scary as fuck.
And it sounds like a fucking machine gun when it comes out, like a Velociraptor alien velociraptor or some shit.
Yeah.
Have you seen that video?
No, I've seen pictures of that motherfucker, dude.
No, you
The
should
shoe
see
bell.
it, bro. That motherfucker sounds like a fucking street sweeper, bro. When he comes out, like,
Dude, there's some big birds like the harpy eagle, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of eagles and hawks are huge, bro. Like, well, you got ostriches, but they're not that big. They're big, but they can't fly.
man,
you know what I mean? So that's
you need to do your research on
Man,
birds, bro.
dude.
Birds. There's some huge birds out there. So when you're talking about
What
that's
about-
what that fits the bill, because the main thing isn't the Mothman. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Every description, every illustration, what is the main focus? Right.
His eyes.
Exactly.
They glow.
Okay. So
That's what people say, that it glows red.
yeah, but you're going off of the fantasy.
Well,
type
you know
thing.
what? Also, like
And-
when you like shine lights at certain animals
yeah,
and shit.
like a cat.
Yeah, you'll see like like I don't know, a glare
cat.
to it. Yeah.
Like a cat, right?
Yeah.
So you asked me what I think it is, and me being, like I told you, being a person of facts,
Yeah.
it has to be like maybe one of those, maybe a shoebill stork. Those fuckers are big too. They're like about 5 feet tall, but their eyes are not red. So that's what the biologists, West Virginia University, were claiming that it was.
Yeah.
It got disoriented and landed somewhere in the field, and this couple would just happen to be there, and it just came out of the field, the grass, and it scared the shit out of them, and that's what helped, I guess, start the legend of the cryptid,
But
the Mothman.
other people have seen it, bro. They give descriptions. They sometimes, most people say that it's dark, it's black, has like the head of an owl. You know what I mean? Like an owl or some bird kind of thing. And
Let's talk about it a little bit.
let me just talk about some of the stuff like throughout history, bro. Like that's reported, right? Like you're into dinosaurs and shit, bro.
Right, right.
There's things like that back in the day, pterodactyls and what else? I know there's like this giant fucking bird back then, bro. I forgot the fucking name of it. It's huge.
Well, anything that flies, I mean, if you go back even to, I mean, this is the nerd part of me, like a paleontology, you're talking about winged creatures, that
Big bird. Like a big giant bird.
bird, because
Yeah.
there's a difference, just because something flies is not a bird.
Well, isn't all like fucking
like you
nowadays, like birds nowadays,
Uh-huh.
aren't they all like related to dinosaurs?
where they fall from the same tree, the
Yeah.
archosaurs, which split off in the Mesozoic era.
So-
That's like middle life. You know how
Yeah.
it's Cenozoic, Mesozoic, and the present life.
Yeah.
So when birds branched off of reptiles, that was like in the middle of the life of the earth. But that's where we have the very first things that ever flew, even before birds, were reptiles. That's why birds descended from reptiles.
But even back in the day, like way back then, insects were huge, right? Like so, a moth was probably like the size of you.
Oh yeah, let me go back. If I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong. If there's any paleontologist enthusiasts out there, if you go back to the Carboniferous era,
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
This is where Pangea was still one.
Yeah.
It's the landmass, right?
Yeah.
A huge continent. And this 300 million years ago, there was the whole Earth was mainly swamps. Swamps, and on this particular atmosphere was 30% more oxygen.
Yeah.
So anything that has oxygen nowadays is gonna grow huge. Birds, that's why dinosaurs were so huge. Insects, any other creature that you can think of. But back in the Carboniferous, there was a huge flying, and they have fossils of this, of a dragonfly. I don't know what the name is, but it had a 2 feet wingspan, and they have fossils of this thing.
Okay.
It's a dragonfly. Can you imagine going back 300 million years? They also have a centipede, Arthropleura.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's Arthropleura. It was a huge centipede that was 6 feet long, 3 feet across, and some scientists, which also this creature, this insect, has been featured in like programs, like documentaries. They say that it could have like reared on its hind legs.
Yeah.
Picture a centipede. You know what a centipede is, right?
Yeah.
Those
Like the
bunch of legs.
Bunch of legs on it. Yeah.
It could rear up this thing and be 6 feet tall. they have evidence in the Carboniferous when now there's fossil fuel from the remnants of that era.
Yeah.
We call it fossil fuels. That's
Yeah.
what that came from. When it fossilized, is that dark fossilized
The resin within that accumulated when
which it was the plants,
Yeah.
the forests, and everything, right?
Yeah.
So in those deposits, those layers of deposits, that's where they find these huge insects.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, the myths are not really that far fetched.
There is like
They
back
were
in the day, there was something
huge insects. They have
Flying
evidence.
insects. But
Flying
like, do you
insects.
think something from that era survived? I know we're not talking about like dinosaurs, land animals.
Yeah, but that's
maybe stuff
one.
in the sea, like Loch Ness or something.
yeah, like
you know
you're
what I mean?
saying,
but
that's
like stuff
one.
that's flying somewhere else.
That's
like,
one. If there were dragonflies that big, there probably were other big insects.
Have you
That thing probably was flying around, and if you was a human being back in the day,
Yeah.
a human being,
yeah.
it could probably chew your eyes out.
Well,
it was huge.
Let's talk
bro.
about our ancestors, bro, because they claim to see things like that back in the day. Have you heard of the Thunderbird?
It's a native, another
Native American
folklore.
indigenous like folklore, yeah, throughout the world, not
But
just
the
here.
Thunderbird is, if I'm not correcting me, you probably done your research. I have not really dug into this. I believe it might be like a huge eagle or a condor type vulture.
Yeah.
Because not too long ago, 10,000 years ago, in North America, there's fossils again of eagles being as big as probably 12 feet wingspan, and they probably stood up to 3 feet high. So everything, like I'm telling you, back in those days, Danny,
Yeah.
with humans and everything, hunting them down, obviously everything gets smaller. The environment gets smaller for them to find food.
Yeah.
So back in those days, there were eagles. Do your research. There's eagles the size of small planes back in the days.
Yeah.
They were hunting humans.
Yeah, there's stories about it. These people, like Native Americans, indigenous people around the world, all claim to see these flying creatures, and their drawings and stories about Thunderbirds, right? They say like it would like cause. They say it would cause like these crazy storms. You know what I mean? Like the flapping of the wings
think
created
that-
the winds. The eyes like radiate lightning bolts and shit.
That's another one. Well, I think the one you just described is the pterodactyl.
Yeah. Well,
The pterodactyl was it falls in the pterosaur family.
yeah.
And the pterosaur is the most famous one. Is the pterodactyl, the one with the hair crest,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that's the one where I saw the.
Did you see a photo of it, dude?
Yeah,
There's like these
on
old
the walls, right?
No, there's like a photo. Well, yeah, they had them depicted too, but they also there's like this. I don't know if it's true, bro. I don't know if they're like fake and shit. They show photos of like these like ranchers or like these soldiers too, like holding like a pterodactyl or like a thunderbird or something, bro. I'll post it up if I get a chance. You know what I mean? Like on the picture on the podcast. But yeah, I don't know if it's real or not. You know what I mean? But it's like huge, bro. There's like 15 men lined up, all holding like a wing or something like that.
Did
in
it
the
look
body
like
of
that
it.
pterodactyl?
It looked like a pterodactyl or some kind
And
of bird.
that's
or some shit.
interesting where the account's talking about, obviously they don't have like meteorologists have right now.
Yeah.
The advances they have in the weather.
Yeah.
But back in the days, can you imagine? Because first of all, the pterodactyls didn't have feathers. Did you know that?
Yeah. Sometimes people claim that this thing, the Mothman, doesn't have feathers either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but back to the Thunderbird.
Yeah.
That pterodactyl in the fossil record, it did not have feathers. You know what it had? It was just their wings were connected to their bones.
Scales.
It was skin. A skin membrane, but with a little bit of hair-like structures.
Yeah.
So can you imagine if it was just wingspan as big as 12 feet across, flapping his skin-like appendages, wings, it will make that like a bat, but twice as loud, which sounds like the thunder, right? Think about it.
Yeah.
And this huge as a pterodactyl flying around, when it took off, it had to make that kind of sound because feathers That's why owls are so quiet, and owls look like Mothman
They look
with
crazy.
the eyes.
They look like
But-
aliens or something.
Exactly.
Too, man.
They don't make noise because their feathers disguises the owl to hunt mice and rabbits.
Yeah.
But in the Native Americans, it describes the thunderbird as flapping his wings and creating gust storms and thunder sounds.
Yeah. And also with the owls, Native Americans, they think that, I guess they say that you can't look at owls, their eyes. There's something bad, bro. It's like a bad omen to look straight into the eyes of an owl or something.
I don't know. I think
that's-
owls, to me, they're from. When you look at
they
an
hold
owl,
wisdom, but I think there's
that's
like
what the wisdom. That's like childlike shit that we're told. When you look at an owl, you can tell this animal is not seeing the things that we're seeing. This animal is so in tune with its surrounding.
a predator.
360 when it looks at surroundings, it looks at it 360 its eyes. So I can just imagine this animal, the way we can't not even imagine how it detects motion, how it sees. It's something that we can't comprehend.
Have you heard of sorry to cut you off, man. Have you heard of the firebird?
I mean, it has to do with
It's a Slavic mythology. It's like
No.
it's a big bird, glowing, burning red, and some say it's like a blessing, and others say it's a harbinger of doom. So like, and a lot of people say this too about the Mothman. You know what I mean? They don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. Shit, dude, he's probably both. He's probably an anti-hero flying around in its tights, or none at all. Shit, who knows? Probably free balling and landing at the wrong places at the wrong time. People see him around sight. I'm gonna get into that right now too, about like the evidence and certain things that happened that are they blamed the Mothman for doing. But yeah, that's like a crazy comparison, the Firebird, and that's what they say about the Mothman. Or it could be one of these other creatures. This is a list of flying things, bro. Right? There's also things like Firebirds, which is like a Slavic mythology.
It has so many names.
Yeah,
in
dude.
it.
There's the gargoyles, bro. Angels. What's your thoughts about angels, like fallen angels? You know what I mean? Talking about like harbinger of doom. We know.
Birdman, UFO bird. Have you ever UFO bird?
Yeah, the UFO bird. But like
Mason bird.
Mason bird. That's one of the nicknames for.
Where
it
does
too.
that come from, though?
It's like another town. I think maybe they just call it.
The area where the
Yeah,
sightings.
I think Chicago and all that did it too. But like I was saying, bro, let's not get all too off track. But so like there's things like the Firebird, gargoyles, angels, bro. There's bad, good angels, fallen angels. You know what I mean? So if you're talking about like things like being a blessing or a harbinger of doom, angels are told to have that similar stories, right? The griffin, the lion, it's half lion, half eagle. Fairies, bro. Fairies good or bad? Can you tell me if fairies are good or bad?
I've never seen a fairy, but I've
like-
seen the. Have you seen the book that you let me borrow?
Which one?
That has the pictures of those fake fairies and the guy in the 1920s.
Yeah.
And it's talking about it's a fake, and it has the fossilized fairy, which that motherfucker looks realistic.
There's some
Like
real
the way
fairies,
it looks
yeah.
like a bat or something that's petrified or it died or something, but it's very clever how these people put up these stories, and that's that what intrigues people, the mystery of it.
Yeah,
So no, I don't believe in fairies.
yeah, but then, they say they're like mischievous too, and there's some good ones, I guess. Have you heard of Garuda? It's a mythological. No, Garuda, man. Garuda is like a Hindu god, bro. It's like a big bird, like also like the taro bird and shit. You know what I mean?
Terror bird.
The taro bird.
Terror
Terror bird.
That's a diatrima.
Yeah.
You know what a diatrima was?
No, what is that?
That was after the extinction of the dinosaurs 65 million years ago.
Yeah.
The KT boundary.
Yeah.
The KT boundary is when what separates the Cretaceous from the era that came after that, which was the mammals.
Yeah.
KT boundary, the tertiary, right?
Yeah.
So after that, what descended from that were the terror birds.
Yeah. Okay.
The family of flightless birds that were eating the earliest mammals, which the earliest mammals were, believe it or not, horses. Back in those days,
Yeah.
65 after 65 came the era of the mammals when the mammals took over.
Yeah.
The first mammals were small
Little horses.
horses, very weird little horses.
Like
And-
the unicorns and shit.
no, they were little, bro. They were the size of weasels, but they were horses. And there were birds that were 6 feet tall, had huge bills, like hooked, like a fucking bald eagle.
Yeah.
And that was their prey, and that was the only time in history that birds killed horses. Can you believe that?
That's crazy, bro.
That is crazy.
I see videos of them fucking throwing goats off fucking mountains and shit, dude.
Yeah.
Have you seen that shit? And they're smart too. They just kind of knock them off and shit, and then they just wait till they fall and splatter, and they go.
But
eat the
terror
remains.
birds, when they say terror birds, that scientific thing.
That's it.
It's the that lineage where they were actual fossils of these things, and one of them was like the one I mentioned is the diatrima, which is one terror bird that was actually.
Are you familiar with Greek gods and shit?
Were you talking about mythology, like Hades?
Like Morpheus, and he was like the son of.
Well, that's more of a not
Yeah,
the Greek ones.
no,
I'm talking about the.
Well, Morpheus, he was the son of Hypnos, right? The god of sleep. And I think Morpheus had wings as well. And he can control dreams. And some people say that the Mothman can like interfere with people's dreams or communicate telepathically. Some people claim that, man, that it speaks to them or some shit.
I mean, the sightings, from what I've read, don't speak about that. But, due to the popularity of the Batman TV series, let's get a little bit back into that. Why is it that all these blockbuster movies have never featured that? And it was supposedly, it was in the TV series, right? At the time.
I think it was supposed to air in the old 69 Batman or something like 66 Batman. But it just never aired. But it is on the comic books.
Yeah, and it goes by the killer moth, right?
Yeah, the killer moth. Did you hear about also in Houston, bro? Houston, Texas, back in like shit, this is way back in the day, bro. Like 1953, bro. There's reports of the Houston Batman. A similar creature like this, bro. Dude, there's stories going back like far back, bro. Like to southeastern China, bro, like 1926 or something like that. A figure was like that the locals dubbed the man dragon was being seen hovering over a dam, and that dam collapsed, bro. Some crazy shit. It killed like 15,000 people. But before we get into some shit, like I'm gonna talk about that shit too later. It's like dams and like collapses and shit, like buildings or whatever. Have you heard about Quetzalcoatl, the Aztec god?
Yeah, and the name derives from Quetzalcoatlus. You know who that is, right?
It's like a bird or what?
Quetzalcoatlus was the biggest pterosaur that ever lived. They have fossils of this thing, and it stood 18 feet tall, which was as tall as a giraffe. This thing was had a 40-foot wingspan. It's called Quetzalcoatlus. So what you just mentioned derives from that. Yeah. And why it gets is because it's the feather serpent.
Feather serpent or something
right?
like that.
Because you know why? When they saw the fossils, when they first discovered Quetzalcoatlus, it had a longest neck of any flying creature.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that when the people back in the days first started seeing these fossils, obviously they didn't know anything about extinction or anything about pterosaurs. They were naive. We were ignorant, right?
Yeah.
Of course, they're gonna name it. It's like a snake. It's long. It has a feather snake, right?
Yeah.
So that's where that comes from. But
it was like part bird and part like serpent, right? Like a dragon. And there's dragons are told all over the world, bro. You know what I mean? Like you have them in Europe, you have them in Asia,
it's in the
you
Bible
have them
too.
Dude, yeah, you have the what the fuck? You have the cockatrice. It's a biblical beast, bro. The cockatrice. Sounds fucking funny as fuck, but that's a dragon in the Bible, bro. You got the Hydra, or we got like the 6-headed, 7-headed snake or dragon or some shit, right? I forgot the name of it.
Hydra was the one with
the Snallygaster. So many fucking like dragons, bro. Like that's told all over the world. Like what the fuck is that? People are seeing. Nobody sees dragons anymore, I guess. You know what I mean? That went away, but they're claiming to see big things like this, like the Mothman still, or other UFOs.
Well, like I was saying, back in those days, not too long ago, 10,000 years is, when you think about it, it's not that long ago. And they were big, humongous condors, bald eagles, anything that you can imagine that's a raptor, like any bird of prey was bigger, way bigger. So, I guess, back in those days too, our ancestors were smaller, right? We were smaller than we are now, right?
That's what they say, man. But there's giants too. There's stories of giants and shit.
You're right. In the Bible, it talks about that, like,
Yeah, some crazy shit there. I did an episode.
Goliath is.
Yeah.
But that's another topic, which is another one that you should maybe talk about the giants.
I have done an episode
because they have evidence of finding fossilized skulls, dude, that they're like 3 feet tall and shit.
We're talking about evidence, man. Let's get into some of the evidence right now, too, showing the evidence of Mothman, right? Like I said, we talked about indigenous people having drawings and stories about them. We talked about things in nature we know of, like dinosaurs, like the pterodactyl and shit. But also bridges, bro. There's been bridges that have collapsed in the past. In Point Pleasant, there was the Silver Bridge, right? That collapsed, and people were saying that they saw the Mothman like a week prior to it.
Do you know what the timeline was it?
Yeah, I think it happened back in...
Because I have it here.
Yeah, if you have it, go ahead.
Yeah, let me just fill in a little bit.
Yeah.
What Danny was trying to say.
Yeah.
So apparently, this is what it got. Following the December 15, 1967 collapse of the Silver Bridge and the death of 46 people, the incident gave rise to the legend and connected the Mothman sightings to the bridge collapse.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
So, and that's like after that, it kind of went away for a while until the book of John Keel, the Mothman Prophecies. That kind of brought it back into like for what it is today in pop culture. You know what I mean?
What year was it published?
The book itself? Oh shit, man!
It's because it'd be interesting to read on it. Whoever is interested in picking up the book and learn a little bit more about it.
It's a good book. They made a movie of it too.
It was in 1975. I have it over here.
Yeah.
75. It was published in 1975.
You know what I'm talking about, the movie, bro? I have a crazy story I want to drop real quick. A long time ago, bro, my mother and I was like young, bro. I was like young. I mean, my mother and I were watching the Mothman Prophecies.
I've never seen that movie.
It's all right. It's all right. In the living room, it's late at night, and there's a scene where they're driving. The fucking movie stopped it just stopped. Like, we didn't press anything. It just stopped.
Was this a VHS, bro?
It could be a VHS, but I can't remember. It was way back in the day.
VHS, nigga.
And not just did it stop on the TV, like in a certain scene, at that moment, a fucking moth landed on the TV. I shit you not, bro. I shit you not, bro.
I know you're trying to get your boost ratings back.
No, man. It's just like, it's nothing really to brag about. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It didn't freak us out. We were not like, oh my God, like tripping the fuck out. My mom did, like, thought it was funny. You know, she's like, oh my God, there's a moth. You know, we're watching the Mothman Prophecy, and the moth just landed on the TV. It was just a trip. And it landed on some crazy fucking scene when this lady's like seeing it or some shit when she's driving.
Okay, then.
And she crashed.
That's why I don't, the devil is a liar.
I don't know. Hey, talking about the devil, people say he has wings too, bro.
Speaking of that, well, I don't know if that's irrelevant. Did I ever tell you that story? You know, I mentioned it to you probably like a week ago.
What's up?
Since we're all talking about flying cryptids and ghosts and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, you had an experience like that. Yeah. Tell me about
till this day, bro, even, like right now, I'm not gonna, go into the details, but my brother, he's back in Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah.
And he says that, well, first of all, let's start from the beginning. Back in the days in 1995, I must have been probably like, I don't remember, probably like 7 or 8, whatever.
A little niño.
A little niño, right?
Yeah.
Little niño in the mountains of Puerto Rico. But can you imagine trying to set the eerie, if I can, environment of the mountains of Batallon?
Yeah.
Well, back in those days, it wasn't as populated as it is. These were mountain regions over there in Bayamon.
Yeah.
And it's like jungles, right?
Yeah.
So my dad, in that time, I must have been 7. My brother was 10 or something. He bought land.
Yeah.
Over there, and it was like a farmland, and he had plans for us to grow crops, and my mom to live with us, right?
Yeah.
So when we get up there, dude, we always used to. This is in the mountains of Bayamon, and then we used to go over there and cook out. But the thing is what made it eerie at night is that this town didn't have electricity.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is like we always try to like leave that area. It's like jungle, very eerie. The
Dense.
fog,
It's very dense. Yeah.
yeah, the fog used to come, and because it's a mountain region,
Yeah.
the clouds would come, and always I remember as a kid, my mom telling us, "Hey, vénganse, vénganse, ahí viene la niebla, la tiniebla," like the fog. Remember that movie?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it reminded me of that when I was a kid. You know, we didn't know any better, and it scared me. And then I remember this particular night, we were all getting ready to leave to go back to the city in Bayamon, and the fog coming in. Everybody got packed, and my dad at that time, his business was selling water
Yeah.
in this area, right? They have no electricity, no plumbers, you know, there's no water.
Yeah.
So his gig was he had a truck and he used to sell water. And the thing was that everybody knew him. But this particular weekend, we all got ready to go back home.
Yeah.
And the fog started coming down. And one point thing that I remember my mom never liking this land, because I remember that first time we went there was a blue cross in the field.
Yeah.
Like it's like a farmland.
Yeah.
But in that farmland there was a blue cross, and my mom was like, "Uy, ¿qué es eso?" Like to my dad, ¿qué es eso? No sé. De seguro alguien murió right there. Somebody died there. And that's why my mom always had that feeling, like an eerie feeling, because me too, like me and my mom and my brother never liked staying there because there was no light. And at night it was creepy because of the fog.
Yeah.
And I always know, I kid you not, Danny, I always, when we were there, me, my mom, and my brother, my dad used to go out and do his gig.
Yeah.
I felt like this weird sensation of like kind of like, you know, something is
Something's,
around you.
like looking at you, staring
Exactly. Like something like
watching you and shit.
like an energy or something
yeah. Did
So
you never saw anything like
flying.
or flying or
Yeah,
or like red eyes in the dark somewhere?
Let me
in the
get to
distance?
that. Let me get to that. As we going down the mountain, coming down because our farmland was on top of the mountains. As we coming down, all of a sudden, that particular day, my uncle was with us. And then it was me, my brother, and my other cousins in the back of my dad's truck. All of a sudden, picture it. There's fog. You can barely see a little bit of lights as you're going down. You see the little town, right? All of a sudden, my uncle tells my dad, "Hey, apúrese. Alguien está, you know, somebody's trying to get in the back of the truck." And my dad was like, "What?" He said, apúrese, like, hurry up, step on the gas. And all of a sudden, I turned around because I was in the back of the truck too.
Yeah.
And I started looking in the distance then, and I kid you not, all I remember seeing was like this white, it had like it wasn't human, but it was like this white, like piece of cloth getting closer to the back of our truck. As this is happening, I'm seeing it, but I can't. It looked like it was floating. It had no head. But my uncle in the back of the truck, where he was like towards the back of the truck, kept saying, hurry up. It's trying to get in the truck. As my dad, you know, starts accelerating more, we finally reached the where the town gas station was. You know, there was population there.
Yeah.
But from that time, I remember as soon as we got to the town when it was more lit, that's where my dad stopped and asked us, what the hell were y'all screaming about for me to accelerate? That's when my uncle said that he saw that and outside too, but he said, no tiene cabeza, which in Spanish means it has no head.
Some people say that it doesn't really have like a head, like that. You just see eyes like in its chest, like red eyes in its chest, like kind of like an owl. You know, like an owl just kind of.
But the weird thing is, like, nobody knew, nobody saw it coming. Like
That's
from the
crazy.
distance, can you imagine? Like it attracted the beam lights from far away. Can you imagine it just?
Like
looking in the horizon, and he sees the truck which had round eyes,
just like an insect.
like an insect.
Yeah.
So he sees it, starts going towards us, and as soon as the light, when we got to the populated area, as soon as it got lit, that thing flew away, and that's when we're like, "What was that?" Everybody got out the car, and my dad started asking my uncle, "What was that?" He's like, "I don't know." Until this day, that I talked to my brother, and I asked him, "Did you ever go back? Have you ever seen that where we used to have our old farmland?"
Yeah.
He said he went there, and kid you not, he said that house is never been populated ever since. Nobody has ever bought it, and you know what? They still have that
It's vacant.
that cross, that whoever died there.
Yeah.
They never took it out. It was like a play. You know how when you die, you have a plot?
Yeah, like a land, like a little, your cemetery, your gravestone,
Right.
and all that, yeah.
He said it's very creepy. He said he drove there, and then it says it reminded him of that day. And he got that sense. I was like, damn, it sends shivers behind my back because I remember that night. And everything brought back all those memories because, you know, even though in the daytime it's beautiful, you know, you get fresh air in Puerto Rico, but there's certain things that people in those remote areas hear people screaming. They have found people dead in those places.
What the fuck?
So it
Well,
really
that's what they say. The
questions. It really raises a lot of questions.
Well,
But this particular thing, as we're talking about a Mothman, and that might have been a Mothman.
could have been the cousin, his Latino cousin, the Chupacabra. People say that shit has wings too. We did an episode on that, dude.
But I do remember that clearly. And to this day, you know, I don't know if it was, maybe it was, you know what, I thought maybe it's superstitious that whoever died in that land, whatever happened that probably that ghost did not want that particular house, our house, to be, you know, people living there.
Yeah.
Maybe it was haunted and it was telling us to leave the house. You know, my dad, after that happened, Danny, no bullshit, he sold that house. Because my mom, after that, did not want,
like, fuck
that. She didn't want to do anything with it. First of all, she didn't like it because there was no lights. There was no plumbing.
Fuck
and
that.
after that like really cut it off and be like, jodas. We ain't going no more, bro. No more.
Fuck that.
But yeah, so Mothman, maybe there's a Puerto Rican Mothman over there still living in the mountains of Bayamo and scaring.
Dude, I'm telling you, they see it everywhere, bro. Like other things too. I was going to mention, they said they saw it days before Chernobyl exploded or whatever, the malfunction, the breakdown and shit in Chernobyl.
I don't know.
They said they saw it before then, like a week. They said they saw it around the same time as 9/11, like days before 9/11 happened. There's a bridge in Minnesota, another bridge, I-35 West in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It collapsed too, and they said they saw it around there. So like all these horrific events, people claim to see it days or weeks prior.
Oh, can you think that's probably what happened to us? Like he was trying to scare us to jump off the damn
and that's
mountain.
What people don't know.
That causes accidents.
Yeah, they don't know if it's causing the accident or doing something mischievous to cause the accident.
Scaring people.
Or trying to warn people.
No. This thing, obviously, this whatever thing, this creature thing, obviously was trying to scare us. And it did its job. You know what I think it was?
But maybe he saved you because you were going to go another route and you would have fucking like crashed or some shit. You know what I mean?
Maybe, there's
really no way of telling. You know what I mean?
This ain't Casper the Friendly Ghost. This was not Casper, bro. This was a something was trying to scare us, and it did its job. And you know what? And now we're putting everything together about accidents, motor vehicles accidents. The bridge, you know, there's like 46 people, cars.
Yeah.
Maybe this thing, you know what it is? Maybe this Mothman, you know, causes accidents and feeds off the souls of these poor victims.
People say like this guy, what's his name, the author of the book Mothman Prophecies, John Keel. He says that he doesn't really think it's extraterrestrial, like a thing from outer space or whatever. He thinks it's an ultra terrestrial. That it's here, it's like a terrestrial creature, but like it can like manipulate dreams or get inside people's dreams or like have superpowers and shit.
Never heard of that.
Control. I don't know. But anyways, man. Also, they also say that it has some link to the swine flu that happened in Mexico a while back, bro. That supposedly like a whole town or something.
The
like
Mothman is in Mexico. They didn't see that motherfucker.
People said they saw him before that shit spread, bro.
I'm surprised that the cartels haven't kept his ass, bro.
It's probably not like how they like a fucking swine flu is probably the fucking like the moth flu or some shit. You know what I mean? He was probably spreading some shit. Anyways, also people have said, bro, I was gonna mention, I talked about this earlier, that right outside of Point Pleasant, where that couples were being chased, right? They were outside this little town, outside this little area. It's called the TNT area, and it used to be back in the day, like in World War II, it used to be like a TNT manufacturing facility, right? They used to make weapons, bombs, all that shit there, bro. You could still go there to this day, bro, and the bunkers are still there and everything like that. That's what they say. This is what the Mothman hangs out. It's fortress of solitude, you know, like Superman. But they also think it became like this landfill area. Like it became a
It was
Yeah,
associated with the Mothman.
Yeah, they said it was associated with the Mothman, but later they converted it into a wildlife management area and / landfill, bro. Like it's
Mutation.
yeah, it's like contaminated, dude. Some say yeah, like you're right. So it was added to the federal list of hazardous waste sites, bro. And like you said, man, mutation maybe you know, something like a fucking bat, owl, a moth or whatever, like came in contact with the human being or some shit, bro. You know, it's like this like the movie The Fly.
Was there only one movie that was ever made? The Mothman Prophecies? That was only one movie?
That I know of. There's probably documentaries on it too and everything, bro. But, you know, and like I said, bro, like...
It reminds me of this other movie. Have you ever heard of Relic? You ever seen that movie, Relic?
No. What is that?
What's it? Mimic.
And
you know how you were talking about, and this actually plays into the natural world of moths. Yeah. When a big moth is being chased by let's say a bird, what does it do with his wings? It mimics what?
Like the surroundings around them, like it's like
it has camouflage, right?
Yeah, like foliage.
But no,
bark.
it's wings.
Yeah.
It represents like the owl, the wings, the eyes.
Yeah.
So that's where the whole owl-like eyes and the wings of the moth play into.
Yeah, that's why people say they see it in its chest, like you were saying. Yeah.
So can you imagine back in the Carboniferous era, 300 million years ago, huge moths with mimicking like those patterns?
Yeah,
that's the real Mothman, people.
That
is the real Mothman. Or it actually lived.
Or maybe this place, like we said, bro, like that TNT area. Maybe it got ended.
A huge moth.
And it turned into something, bro.
A huge moth.
And that's its origin story. Today we're gonna end this shit with the game, bro. Okay. We haven't done it in a while. Lesser of three evils. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to scare
the lesser of three evils.
Damn, that sounds scary.
All right, man.
Just trying to scare the little kids. Any little youngins listening to that.
Yeah, bro. This is a Halloween. The whole month I do the fucking Halloween specials and shit. Or Halloween themed episodes.
Mothman.
Yeah. Starting with the Mothman. All right, man. Let's do this. All right. Talking about origin stories, bro. All right. Maybe, like I said, maybe that's the Mothman origin story. All right. There's Ant-Man. There's Batman. There's Spider-Man. They all have their origin stories. We're all familiar with them, right? Well, here's your origin story. Your mom mated with one of these animals.
Oh no! Why?
Not only did she mated with one of these animals, but she mated with it in a power plant.
Dude, that's just sick. Bro.
And it created this being, a person with this extraordinary power. And you have these creatures.
Let me guess, what type of insect?
Hold on, I got it. There's the skunk man.
Hell no.
And your power is to blow gas.
Smell like boo boo.
Or horny toad man, and your power is to give warts.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say bang all the time. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, well, yeah, you got to in order to give warts. You know what I mean? You're gonna get some STD warts or some shit.
Syphilis.
Yeah, or something. All right, and then you got the monkey man, and your power is you throw your shit at people.
Well, we do that regardless. We throw shit, bro. We shit in the toilet bowl. So,
oh yeah. Well, what would you be, bro? The skunk man, the horny toad man, or the monkey man?
This just don't make no sense. This don't make no damn sense. What? A skunk, a horny toad, and what was the last one?
A monkey man.
A monkey man. Why would I choose? I thought this has to be with the Mothman. I thought you were gonna pick at least.
Man, the moth. But we just talked about the Mothman's origin story.
But the moth is an insect.
But that's why your mom she mated with one of these things and created.
I'm talking about Spider-Man, maybe wasp.
Yeah, but those are all taken.
Wasp. Well, you can make a new one.
There's a wasp man or wasp woman or whatever. Nah, you gotta be the skunk man, the horny toad man, or the monkey man.
Damn.
Choose one.
I guess I'll go with the damn monkey. Because we're the same.
Pretty much, bro.
They say we came off the damn monkey, which is a bunch of bullshit. But we're getting off track. We're getting off the topic. Don't even get me started on that shit. Yeah.
All right. Birds of prey, bro.
Okay, this is more like it.
You have to replace the chicken with one of these animals to eat. All right, no more chicken. but you can have something chicken-like. You know, everything tastes like chicken, they say. All
So
right.
it
So you
doesn't
got
matter.
So you have these three: an ostrich, a penguin, or an owl. And why would
It's
you eat
very
that?
simple. Man, I go for the damn ostrich. Obviously,
Oh.
you've seen the drumsticks and the eggs. Actually, people in Africa use the eggs. Very tasty eggs. Has a lot of
Yeah,
protein.
yeah.
They even use the eggshells for like containers. So obviously, I'll go for the ostrich. I can use.
And there's a lot of meat on that motherfucker
Hell
too. I'm
yeah.
sure.
The eggs, bro, in the morning. Hell yeah. The ostrich on my
And
book.
when you think about birds that are fucked up, ostriches are kind of like assholes, no? I think they're like fucked
Well,
up.
they're the closest thing to a dinosaur that you can think of because
like some raptors or some shit, huh?
think about it. Add some claws to the wing, and they actually do have. Have you ever seen under all that feathers? There's
Yeah.
actually the remnants of the ancestors, the claws.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you ever seen the fossils or the skeleton of a ostrich. It has little like a T-Rex like little
Oh
hooks.
shit.
So that's the closest thing that we can imagine. If you just imagine like cloning, somebody actually cloning a dinosaur and using an ostrich as the subject or the DNA, just add arms with claws, add some teeth, and boom, you got yourself a velociraptor, which is another. There's another, which I'm rambling, but this is my shit. I love this
Yeah.
shit. It's the Gallimimus
Yeah.
from the first Jurassic Park.
Uh-huh.
The Gallimimus, where that scene where you have the Dr. Grant and the two kids running in that field, and you see the ostrich-like ones. You seen it?
Yeah.
This is the Gallimimus, and they're called that because it means ostrich mimic. They look like ostriches.
Yeah.
So yeah,
There you go. You eat them. I'll eat them too. Shit.
hell yeah, they taste it. I bet you that, dude. Dinosaurs. That's actually what killed them. You know, people a lot of BS talking about 65 million years. That's what we're told.
Yeah.
But humans killed them off.
Yeah. I could see that.
Think of like anything else. Like they were doing the mammoths and all of this.
I'll go for some dinosaur meat, bro.
It's like chicken, bro.
For sure.
Talking about Kentucky Fried Dinosaurs.
All right. Last question. You meet the woman of your dreams, but at midnight, she turns into one of these creatures for a few hours. Not
yeah.
like forever or anything. All right. But she's the woman of your dreams, right? You have Bigfoot, Mothman, or you can say Mothwoman, whatever.
Would have been something. Would have been a moth woman. That doesn't sound too bad, right?
Or well, dude,
Butterfly woman.
yeah, or the chupacabra.
She gonna be sucking what? Chupa what?
If she turned into one of these creatures, which one are you fine with?
For 1 hour? What do you mean?
Like, yeah, she
Okay,
turns
like,
into
you mean
for
getting down to the
for a couple
nitty-gritty?
of hours every night. She turns into like this creature for a couple.
No,
hours.
you're talking about like what? You explain like you in bed, you getting it on, and all of a sudden, damn, she
Whoa,
turns into that shit.
You gotta be careful, man. That's
Is that what you're talking about?
probably if you're doing it around that time. You're gonna have to do it before, or unless you're into that freaky shit, you can wait until then.
Them furries.
Or just wait till afterwards, bro. But God knows what she's been in through. or
Okay,
been
so
in.
repeat it again so I can clarify it.
All right. You meet the woman of your dreams,
Okay.
but she turns into one of these creatures at midnight for a couple of hours.
For the rest of her life.
Not for the rest of her life.
Just once.
Just not for once. Like every night.
Shit.
Every night she turns into this creature, dude, for a couple of
I'm
hours.
about to fillet my soul.
And like they can all be females, like I said. They said, I think the gay community claimed Mothman as one of their own. They say Mothman's gay now. So there you go.
Maybe the chupacabra.
Okay, you were like, never mind, he's out.
No, I don't know where that comes from, but no.
There you go, bro. It's a goat sucker.
Goat sucker.
You're the greatest of all time, man.
Goat sucker. No, let me see. No, this is okay. Let me see.
And Bigfoot. She might smell kind of funny, but
You can always throw a sheet on that fucking feed. You know what I'm saying?
well, yeah.
So yeah, I will go with. Oh, but that bitch would be furry and shit.
Yeah.
They're like fucking that. Oh, okay.
Just think of it as like the 70s, bro.
What is that?
Never mind. I went over your head. Never mind. Go ahead. Keep going.
So it's Bigfoot, chupacabra, and what was the other one? See, you
Mothman, Mothwoman,
Mothwoman.
or man.
This is ridiculous. I'll say fuck it. Since we're celebrating Mothman episode.
There you go, man. There you go.
Moth woman.
And like I said, the woman of your dreams, the moth man or woman, whatever, it probably tricked you because it can get into your dreams, bro. So maybe the whole fucking, you know what I'm talking about? It probably manipulated you, thinking that it's like this beautiful woman throughout the day, but at night it turns into its true self. But it's like that.
No pun intended.
Yeah,
Just like in nature, the moth it has camouflage and it mimics the eyes of the owls.
There you go, bro. He's a shapeshifter, bro.
Oh, you really planned
Hey, bro,
this shit.
it's
You
like-
planned this shit. You did your research, huh?
Yeah, for sure. It's
Boing.
dude. It's either this motherfucker is real or like they're having this. People are having this mass hallucination and seeing shit at the same time or whatever, bro. People are still seeing it to this day, bro. I think like a couple of years ago, people were seeing it in Chicago.
Oh well, yeah. Sightings. You know, sightings in Moscow as foreshadowed the 1999 Russian apartment bombings. Did you hear about that?
Nah,
There were some bombings in 1999, and I think that was like the last time, like it was on the real like newspapers in 1999. But yeah, like, you know, people try to. Why do you think it's such a famous? Because I've never heard of it until you told me about this.
It's big, bro. It's
What catches your attention to it? Like,
I think just because the flying aspect, you got like your ground cryptid, Bigfoot,
Right.
New Jersey Devil, Chupacabra, I guess, right? And then you got your your water dweller. You got the Loch Ness and shit. You know what I mean? You got maybe
the
some
Loch Ness
other,
is more probable.
yeah. So, but you got nothing that's roaming the skies, bro. You know what I mean? That's
Just more rare, which
Yeah.
makes it more of
so
mysterious.
You
right?
need that guy. You know what I mean, or whatever to be there. And like I said, it's big in pop culture, man. And you find it in songs, movies, bro, TV, like the game Fallout 76. There's a character in it, bro. The Mothman. I think they're trying to find it, bro. They bring it can of beans in the game, and in real like there's a Point Pleasant, right? They have a festival, and they just had it a couple weeks ago too, right?
Really?
Yeah, for the Mothman, right? And they have a big statue there, bro.
Oh yeah, I've seen the statue,
it's
which
like
is pretty cool.
metallic and shit. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. You should go to there. Have you ever
I would
visited?
check it out. I would check it out.
and
Looks
get
like
a
a
picture
little
taken with the
nice little
Mothman.
town and shit. Yeah, maybe when the next festival we'll go. But yeah, people leave it can of beans and shit, bro. Right behind it's behind and shit.
Man,
statue.
What are you saying about? They're saying that it's a beaner. The Mothman might
It
be a
could be,
beaner.
but it did say in the beginning, bro. The first people who first saw it said that it did look like a brown human being, bro.
That's fucked up.
Represent,
bro.
you know what I
That
mean?
is fucked up.
Yeah,
Eating
so,
beans, and that's how they're gonna catch it by
I don't
eating
know.
beans.
Yeah, I guess, man.
Well, yep, people, this has been the Mothman. It has been a fun one. I can't believe we talked a lot about this.
Yeah, dude.
We're supposed to
Shit.
cut it. How long?
It was gonna be a short one, but now we knocked it out an hour, bro. Over an
That's
hour.
what happens, people, when people get together and people have a lot of like time to kill. But it's fun. It's all fun and games. Mothman people, for the kids, for the adults who like the you know, these cryptids.
Yep,
you know,
yep. Yeah, man.
everything is good. So it all ties in with the Halloween. So it's all good and fun, you know.
Yeah, man. Shit, hell yeah. The Mothman, man, it cometh all over your face.
Any closing that we can say maybe next Halloween episode? Maybe we can do one for the
Yeah, check out the next one we're gonna be doing in a couple of weeks, or for the Halloween special,
Right.
the clones.
cloning.
Man. That's just gonna be a dope episode. Check it out, guys.
I feel this one is going to be very interesting.
Yep. And that's it. That's all we have. Thank you for listening and check it out, man.
Well, thanks again, people. Dino Rider,
Yeah.
checking out another one for the books, folks.
Yep, he's heading out on his Mothman.
Dummy. Conspiracy dummy.
When your eyes look into mine, creepers, creepers, where'd you get those creepers? Creepers, creepers.